There's no doubt that independent education is a huge commitment to your child's future. Sometimes the financial hurdles to accessing this often wonderful education can make it beyond the reach of so many people. You may have heard of scholarships and bursaries, and I just wanted to take a moment to have a conversation with you about them. Maybe you didn't realise that your child may be entitled to one or both of these options. So, what's the difference? Scholarships essentially celebrate exceptional talent. They're merit-based accolades. It could be a sporting award. It could be an academic award. It could be a music award. Some schools even offer a chess award. It really comes down to the individual school, what they're looking for, and the value they place on certain skills, certain abilities, and certain qualities. So always speak to the school, always speak to the admissions department and find out about it. Even if your child doesn't qualify for a scholarship, it often doesn't hurt to have a go. It often gets their application form to the top of the pile, and it means they're going to be looked at by more people than perhaps a standard applicant. Normally, scholarships don't offer a huge discount, up to 20%, sometimes 10%, sometimes less. Many schools, in fact, offer honorary scholarships where there is no actual fee reduction. The accolade is in achieving the award, achieving that scholarship. Bursaries, however, are somewhat different. Bursaries are means tested, and bursaries are a method of ensuring accessibility to a wider pool of students. And most independent schools have a form of bursary. Generally, they use an independent company to assess whether your child is eligible, and it can be quite surprising how deeply they can look into some of your personal finances. They could look at bank statements, they could look at income, they could take up references. So just be prepared that if you do decide to go the bursary route, there can be potentially quite a deep dive into your personal finances. And I know that's something not everybody feels comfortable with. But just to give you a couple of examples of schools which have really strong scholarship programs and bursary programs, Westminster School, they celebrate academic rigour and access. It's one of the most academically selective schools in the country, and they have a huge pool of money to invest in offering bursaries to families who couldn't otherwise access independent education. Local schools, Newhall School, the Brentwood School, Chigwell School, all schools I work with regularly that have fantastic options and fantastic programs for both bursaries and scholarships. So, my advice, prioritise the bursary calendar. Find out when those applications have to be in. Often it could be a lot sooner than the main standard application, we'll call it. And be sure that you understand what you're looking for and what you're hoping to achieve from either a scholarship or a bursary. Remember, scholarships 20% maximum. Bursaries can be for 100%. They can cover all the fees. Sometimes they cover half the fees. Again, speak to the schools, speak to the bursar, speak to the admissions department. Be transparent from the beginning. The school won't judge you. They won't judge your child differently, but they have this money there. Why should you not be entitled to it? So, what will they look at? Income and employment. And I've made a little list here. So, P60s and payslips, self-employed records, benefit statements, bursaries, not for scholarships. They could look at your property, your main property and any other properties you own, and they're likely to value them. They could look at your investment portfolios, your utility bills, any other school fees you may be paying, and any other major outgoings. The thing to remember is that independent education is a huge investment in a child's character, as much as their grades. And whether the scholarship is recognised prestige, or a bursary's essential support. These pathways are there. They can make education and independent education in particular more accessible. So if you feel that you may qualify, it doesn't hurt to have a conversation.